Yo, what's up, everybody? We are live. Let me get the live chat rolling here. 1 second. Embed chat. Copy. Paste. All right, the chat should be good now. Let me put a test message in here. Chat's rolling. Okay, what's up, everybody? As you can see, Guy Boston Sports is back on the show, who is now full-time doing this, which is awesome. I don't know if you saw, he posted a video explaining, like, just a brief of how he made it there and finally reached the point where he's able to quit his job and do this full-time, which is a great feeling, man. That's awesome. Really happy for you. Your content's great. Hopefully some of the people watching here go check it out. He really puts, the people I have on here, I like people that put the work in, and this guy really puts homework into what he's doing. So check out his stuff. Hopefully yeah, man. Hopefully we have some winning bets for you today. Unfortunately, the injuries are screwing us today. I mean,
I hate it. I hate this.
Dude, last night when we were making the video, there was a bunch. I was like, "Ooh, I like this game. I like this angle." But then here we are at 4 p.m. I'm sitting on I got about 4 on the waiting list that I want to bet if I can get an update. So we'll talk about it, see if we can find something. But as a whole, it's not the greatest day.
The last time I was on here, we had a terrible slate too. Maybe I'm just like the bad luck charm.
It's your fault. I was just thinking it might be your fault.
Yeah,
I do carry that vibe. I mean, it makes sense.
Actually, the last time you were on here, I believe Prop Beaver was trying to fight Popovich.
Yeah, I still am. Fuck that guy.
I heard he's not signing the contract.
Yeah,
you offered it.
Yeah.
He's afraid.
I know.
Pop is afraid.
I know.
Yeah, that was when Boston was on. It was that day. All right, so big news. Prop Beaver did not have a losing day, and I don't know if you've seen on Twitter, Prop Beaver's going through like the most epic cold streak of all time. The last couple weeks, he did not. He broke even.
I'm numb. I don't have any feeling anymore. It's just like I go out there, I look at numbers, I pick some picks, and that's about it. Last night, Tyus Jones had 19 potential assists, converted 6 of them. Great. Makes a lot of sense. Anthony Davis, man,
That's bad luck.
Guy couldn't get that guy couldn't get.
He never came back in the game in the fourth quarter because it was blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Just bad luck.
I just don't get it. It messes with my head. It messed with my head for this slate. I got tons of questions. Do I do this? Do I do that? I don't know. I am just stunned at this point.
All right. So Orlando at Charlotte. I kind of like the matchup for Orlando, but am I going to lay 8.5 on the road? Probably not. No, I'll put Orlando minus 8.5. Real quick description why. I mean, as we know, Magic love to attack the interior. They got great numbers scoring on the interior. They've been doing that all year, so it's not like that's new. The Magic have been attacking the basket since October, and that's the weakness of the Hornets defense. So the Magic play right into the weakness of the Hornets defense. The reason I can't pull the trigger on it, other than the fact that the Magic, all their numbers decrease on the road, so they're not absolutely terrible on the road, but they're significantly better at home, and the turnovers. Orlando's struggling to protect the basketball, and one thing Charlotte can actually do is rip turnovers. So it just scared me off of it. I'm leaning Orlando, but if you're on Charlotte, I get it. Are you on Charlotte, Boston?
I'm not. I'm really kind of indifferent in this spot. I think I echo your point with, Orlando definitely has the matchup advantage, and they should be able to kind of pick them apart. But like 8.5 for an Orlando team, not a fan of that. So if I had to pick a side and I had a gun to my head, which I don't, I'd go Orlando 8.5. But it's not something that I'm loving.
Yeah, and for anyone who watched my video last night, we put up. Actually, I say we. Prop Beaver did. He put up a graphic of the Orlando. Their ranks at home and on the road. And at home, it's like 10th, 8th, 13th. And then on the road, it was like 19th, 20th, 23rd. And those are in comparison to other teams' road stats. So, yeah, this team definitely takes a step backwards on the road. And then we're talking about laying 8.5 points. It's not the most comfortable spot you want to be in. Prop Beaver?
Yeah, I just went with the system that's treated me well all year. Point guard steals against the Orlando Magic continues to pay out. Last 30 days, they're allowing the third most steals per game to point guards. Last 10 games, they're 30th in offensive turnover rate. And man has been really good defensively this year. I got to give him props. He's really stepped it up. 92nd in steal percentage percentile. So he's really killing it. He's now cashed the last 7 to 10 games, and now he gets the grand papa in terms of matchups. An opposing guard has hit 2+ steals in 15 straight versus Orlando. Few of them rank even close to man. I mean, we took Brunson's 2+ steals he cashed. We took Kobe White's 2+ steals they cashed. These guys are in like the bottom quartile in terms of steal percentage. I just think that at plus money, I'll take my chances. That's about it.
Yeah, I believe in the last 10 games, Orlando's 30th in turnover rate. I think they're dead last. Yeah. So
they don't know how to hang on to a basketball.
Yeah, protecting the basketball is a serious issue for the Magic. Our poll is trending heavily towards Orlando, so it looks like our viewers are agreeing with us here. 59%, 16% in favor of Orlando. Next game, Boston at Cleveland. Boston. I didn't ask you if there's any games you wanted to go first on. If there's any games you felt particularly strongly about. Does this happen to be one of them?
I mean, I feel strongly just because I'm a Celtics fan, I guess. I think that this is probably, I'll kind of tear my point down before I make it. This is probably the type of spot where everyone's going to be on the Celtics and then somehow the Cavs just cover because it's such a, Celtics are a full freight train, speed ahead, whatever. But no Mitchell, I think no Strus as well, right? Like, this should be a spot for the Celtics. I think that I don't know what you guys are on, so I hate to throw out names, but I think it's silly to bet against the Celtics right now. Not saying you have to ride with them, but it's silly to bet against them the way they're playing, even with some injuries and whatnot. So I'd lean towards the Celtics here, minus the points. But again, like I can entirely see someone being like, well, at some point this win streak has to come to an end. Cleveland plays them tough. 8 points is a lot.
Yeah, I see that. But I agree completely with you. I actually have this one on a quote unquote wait list. There's this one and 2 other games where I'm down to bet it, but I don't really want to get involved. Actually, it's not really that I don't want to get involved, but if Porzingis and Jaylen Brown are ruled out, I bet you we can get Boston at a better price. That's what I'm thinking. I don't want to be like if I don't want to lay the 8.5 and then get caught where it closes at 4 because those both. So no way. What he said is right though. There's no way I tried to touch Cleveland here. The only reason I could see for betting Cleveland is one of those where like you kind of look at it and you're like, this is the one Cleveland randomly shows up and covers. There's no logical reason behind it where it's like no Mitchell, no Strus. They just show up and win this one outright because it's the NBA. That would be the only reason to bet Cleveland. It's not really something when there's no logic behind it. It's kind of just gambling at that point. Yep. Yeah. So logic and numbers wise, there's no reason not to bet Boston. So I'm going to put Boston up for me. And I think I'll be in the Discord later, maybe around like closer to tip off. When the dust settles from these injury reports, I can see myself with some money on Boston before this game tips off. But as of right now, I do not have it posted anywhere. Prop Beaver?
Yeah, I'm also on the wait list here. I want to see if Porzingis and Brown go. I may still play this if one of them don't go, but the main ideal is I want Brown, I want Porzingis to go. If they both go, I'd be taking Jason Tatum's under points tonight. With the full starting 5, he's just not producing like he has in the past. Under 20 of 31 games overall. His next 9 of 11 games on the road. And specifically on one-day rest, he's been bad in these spots. 16-5 to the under, averaging just 24.7 points per game. Now he's going to face an undermanned Cavs team that, I mean, I'm sure the entire world feels like this, but I feel like the Celtics should beat the shit out of the Cavs here. I'm not seeing it from a matchup perspective. I think the Celtics have the tools to completely blow this team out. And he's under his last 6 to 7 road wins by 8+ points with the duo as well. He struggled against his Cleveland team in the past. He's under his last 6 to 8 against them. He's under 3 straight at Cleveland. In those 3 straight at Cleveland, he's averaging just 23 points per game on worse than 37% from the field. And most of those were without Kristaps Porzingis. So I just think he's going to get the Wade Mobley treatment with guys like Holiday, Brown, White, all having more advantageous matchups tonight. Brown has good history against Cleveland. So that'd be my play for this one. But going to wait for injury news.
Yeah, I mean, 28.5 points. That line almost, and I don't follow these player point totals like you do, but that line almost makes me think they aren't going to play because 28.5.
Well, yes, yeah. That's right? What I would think too, but I would think, like, I don't know, because based off where his actual line has been, it has been hovering around this area recently.
Really? Even with those
guys in.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, because he's had some good games lately. So I mean, I just think it's a nice sell high spot. And if they do get ruled in, probably moves down to 27.5. I still like it at 27.5. If they go ruled out, it might be like 30.5. And at that point, hey, still may have value.
Now, there's one thing I want to say before we go to the next game. So I know some people might look who use the recent game numbers, which I do, might look at the Cavs' recent 3-point defense and be like, oh, this is a good matchup. The Cavs have been locking up the 3-ball. But look at who they played. I mean, the Nets, the Bulls, the Pistons. I mean, they haven't played anybody that could shoot the 3 other than Dallas, and they should have lost that game. So when you're using small sample sizes like the last 5 games, the last 10 games, it's always important to just take a gander at who those teams are before you draw conclusions, because I almost got caught on it. About halfway through my handicap, I was like, guys, I think we could take Cleveland here, and then you actually take a look. It's like, oh, no, we can't. So, yeah, I'm Boston. Might end up on Boston. Next up, New Orleans at Toronto. This is another one, man. We're like, I want to be there. I want to be on the Pellies. Pelicans have great numbers this year when rested. What was their prop beaver? Were they 7-2 against the number on 2+ days?
7-3 against the spread. Yeah.
So Pelicans are coming into this game 3 full days rest, and the Pelicans, when rested this year, have an excellent excellent record against the spread. So I'm going to put it up. And for those you don't know, the Raptors are riddled with injuries right now. No Pirtle, no Scotty Barnes. There's a third one, too. Who else is out?
Bruce Brown.
And no Bruce Brown. So, yeah, I'm going to put the Pellies up. And as I'm saying this, I'm kind of like talking myself into it. As of right now, it was just like a lean. But I think I could see myself putting a bet down on the Pelicans at this big number. This line almost making a statement. And I agree with the statement. So I think I might put a few dollars on this. Maybe some kind of money line parlay with the Celtics and Pellies or something. I don't know. But yeah, I like the Pellies here.
Yeah, I probably I don't love this game. This would be a very light bet for me, but I'd probably lean the Pelicans. I mean, I think they're gonna beat the shit out of Toronto here. Last game they played the Hornets, so we didn't really get to see the impact of no Scotty Barnes, but he's one of their best scorers. He's a fantastic playmaker, and he's great at rebounding. But that doesn't really weigh into just how good this guy is defensively. Like, they're just losing so much with him out, and then Podol's a rim protector. Let's not forget that when Podol was out, I believe they were dead last in rim efficiency for the 10-12 game span that he was out. So, I mean, I'm just not I just don't know how they're going to stop Zion.
That's right. They were terrible. They were terrible in that stretch.
That's why I didn't bet this game, because I don't know who the hell I'd like to go over. I could see all 5 members of the starting lineup having a day today. So, and then, you go, oh, why not take the team total over? This team sucks at covering the team total. I was just looking at it on EV Analytics, so I don't know. I'd probably just take the 9.5. And RJ Barrett-led team sounds absolutely pitiful to me, so I'll just do that.
There's a lot of people in the comments, including Ronald. Ronald, what's up, man? Saying they're taking the Raps team total under. Fax Mob, Raps team total under. Saturated, Raps team total under. So it looks like Toronto team total under is a popular bet.
Yeah.
Mr. Boston, you making a move here.
I got 3 plays that I've already bet myself in this spot. So I'll start with the under. I do think that this is just like a game in which, Pelicans 9-point favorites. Pelicans aren't the fastest team in the world. I'm not saying they're the slowest team in the world, but that tells me that this is going to be like a Pelican-led pace game. Whereas Toronto, prior to the injuries and whatnot, they were kind of flying around. I don't really see that happening in this one. So, I like the under. I got it at 229.5. Still like it at 228.5. And then 2 player props, kind of to echo you, Prop Beaver. I like Valanciunas over in points, as well as Brandon Ingram's over in points. There's a little softness for Toronto's mid-range, even when they're healthy. Some of their mid-range scoring, Brandon Ingram should get mid-range tattooed on his forehead. And Valanciunas, like Kelly Olynyk and RJ Barrett at the 5 and the 4. If this game doesn't outpace Valanciunas, and what I mean by that is if it doesn't start flying and he gets sat and they go to Larry Nance or something, Valanciunas could have 12 points in the first quarter. Right. I don't see who's going to stop him. It's going to be a man amongst boys, literally. So a couple player props that I like there, as well as the under. I know taking over in points for 2 guys on one team, doesn't really correlate to taking an under, but it's the way this dumb brain works. All right.
Okay.
No, but it circles around. It kind of seems like we're all circling the same idea. The comments as well, because you remember on YouTube, I said I was liking an under also. So I even was circling around that same idea. And then when you actually picture that, I didn't actually picture that until he was saying it. Kelly Olynyk is the starting 5 on defense. Like, what? So yeah, I'd say Valanciunas should have a favorable matchup here, to say the least.
His old team too. I don't know if people put weight into that, but he did have a long time in,
Didn't he leave on good terms though? I think they like him there. But actually, that could work positively as well.
True.
Like get a cheer from the crowd.
Oh yeah. He'll probably have 2 points tonight.
Yeah, Jonas.
Yeah. one for 9 from the floor, 6 points.
Yeah.
Next up, Philly at Brooklyn, and welcome to the land of broken dreams. This game, man.
Dude, this is the one where the injury really killed me. I was typing up the Sixers spread to post on my thing. I don't even really post spreads on mine, but I loved it that much. But with Maxey out, it's just like, dude, what the fuck?
I wasn't just typing it up. I gave it out on YouTube, bet it as a max bet, put it on Discord, Sixers money line at -110. Had a closing line value. It moved to 2.5. I was like, I'm the man. Maxey ruled out.
Out of nowhere, too. Like, God forbid they give us a warning. God forbid.
Oh, it wasn't even on the report. Oh, something. Okay, so something I want to say, and the reason I want to bring this up real quick, I'll make it quick, is because we had this discussion in the Discord this morning. So a lot of people were buying out of their Sixers bets. And there's something I want to say. The sportsbooks are not going to offer you a buyout that's favorable to you. It's not in their best interest to do so. They're not trying to help you. So when you buy a ticket, let's say you bet $100 on Philadelphia -2, right? When you buy that ticket is worth $100. You just paid it. That's its worth. When Maxey is ruled out, the line moves to Brooklyn -1.5, Philly +1.5. That ticket is it's not worthless. It's just worth about $87 because now the percentage of that ticket winning, according to the applied probability based on the odds, is now less, but it still has worth. So this ticket that was worth $100 is now worth, let's say, $87. And what they'll do is they'll be like, why don't you cash out your ticket? We'll give you $60 for it. Like, it's not in your best interest to sell your ticket that's worth $86 based on probability for $60. They will never give you a deal that helps you. They give you a deal that they think you'll take that's favorable to them. So just wanted to, real quick, metaphor, stock market. You buy in on a stock at $10 a share. It doesn't do well. It goes down to $8 a share. If they came to you and were like, man, didn't work out, why don't we buy those shares back at $6 a share? No, they're still worth $8 a share. So something I wanted to share real quick.
Preach, King.
I thought that was going to turn into a case of the missing dollar riddle or something.
I
was listening for details.
Yeah.
I was like, he's going to get me here.
Well, what happened was someone asked, and I shared that, and a lot of people were asking me questions. So I was like, wow, people are interested in this. So I figured I'd give a little rant there.
I'm a big believer in just let it ride. If that's the case, let it ride.
Hey, I knew I liked you. I knew I liked you. I am on Philly. I'm holding a Philly money line ticket at -110. Riding it out. I'm on the Sixers. The Nets are trash, and they've been trash on back-to-backs. That's all I got to say. Let's go. Ride it out with Philly.
Yeah, so I'm still on Philly. This went from like a 1-unit bet to like a half-unit bet, but like still, I just feel like this Nets team is just so dog water. I mean, they really proved it yesterday. I mean, you're getting beat at home by the shorthanded Grizzlies. They got Trey Jameson at the 5. I mean, that's just rock bottom right there. I know they're playing a bit better lately at home, but still, I mean, on 0 days rest, they have been a nightmare this year. 2-6-1 against the spread. Mikal Bridges is averaging 15 points per game in those spots, shooting heinously from the field. I'm just not seeing it here. So I think that Buddy Hield could get hot from outside. I think Kelly Oubre on any given night, sure, he could shoot 12%, but he also could shoot 78% and score 30 points. So I'd just rather bet my money on the better team, the better coach, a team that gives a damn.
A team that gives a damn. Boston, are you betting on the team that gives a damn?
I'm betting on the team that gives a damn. And say what you want about even Maxey's injury, but like that win over Dallas was that Sunday? Like that moves the needle for those guys too. So you know what? They're coming in, Brooklyn coming off of a loss in which they're 10-point favorites last night. Like there's one team that has vibes high even without Maxey, and there's one team that has vibes that are super low. And you know what? Give me Philly.
And you know what the Sixers have been doing? It's playing great defense against jump shooters. And look, I'm sure Maxi's part of that. I'm not familiar with Maxi's defensive game as far as specific. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like when you have good team defensive numbers against jump shooters, that's not one guy. It means you're playing good team defense. So that's a great matchup against Brooklyn, who, as I mentioned, 2-7 on 0 days rest this year.
Stinky.
This graphic says Philly -1, but I believe it's Philly +1.5 is the current line. That's just what the graphic says. Next. Atlanta at New York, and I'm going to let these guys go first because I'm circling a bet, but I don't really have – it's a quote-unquote I got a feeling bet, and those are never good. So I'm hoping one of you guys can I'm leaning towards the Knicks. I'm seeing – what do you guys think? Am I way off on that?
I don't have much. I put zero effort into this game. I looked at the game.
Because you're not very ambitious?
Oh, cool. No, I said, oh, cool, the Knicks are playing. I'm going to take the Hawks, and that's what I did. Yeah.
So you're leaning Hawks. I'll put Knicks up for me. Boston, do you have anything for this one? I'm leaning Knicks. Don't have anything.
Do we have news on Brunson, or is he still questionable?
Still questionable last I looked, but I will double check.
Well,
I think by the fact that the line's growing a bit, he will play here.
I think he's going to play too, man.
If he plays, I like the Knicks. If he doesn't, I like Atlanta. Same. I mean, you can't possibly put this all in one graphic, but if he does play, I like the under. If he doesn't play, I like the over.
Wait, let's hold on. So you said if Brunson plays, you like Knicks and under.
Yep.
And if he doesn't play, you like Hawks and over.
Yeah, that seems like it was way more simply said than when I said.
No,
so
but to put that in a graphic, if to put that in a graphic would be confusing. So if Brunson
100%.
plays, he likes Knicks and under. If Brunson doesn't play, he likes Hawks and over. This is one of those where like I think I'm down to bet the Knicks here, and I think I'm down to bet the Knicks either way. But if Brunson doesn't play, I want the Knicks at the new line, which might be closer to a pick. I would say around Knicks -1 if Brunson doesn't play. And I probably still, you know who I like, and I'm pumped the Knicks got him, and I know probably shouldn't be this excited about this, but I always liked Shake Milton. I think he's a good player. He plays some defense. I know probably was not excited about Shake Milton, but I think he's a good addition.
Big signing.
I like him taking the minutes from Deuce McBride.
I don't. I like Deuce McBride.
I know, for some reason. You like mediocrity.
He's great defensively, and he could fucking shoot the 3-ball.
What do you? Shake Milton can run the fast break. He can distribute. He's a team player.
You're just making up things now. He's an NBA creative player. He's ass. He's a 71 overall. He's worth nothing.
All right, Detroit at Miami. I got dude. I should have placed this bet because I said last night on the YouTube I was like, I'm leaning towards the Pistons team total under 105.5. Why didn't I bet it? It's at 101 now. So I moved 4 points. I don't know if I've been having a few good weeks, so the odds makers are hawking my shit or what's up with that. But literally closed on that. I still would lean that way. This is crazy to put this graphic up, but I think Miami's the move here, as crazy as that sounds. And it sounds crazy even coming in my mouth, laying 11.5 points with the Miami Heat at home. I mean, over the last 2 years, laying points with the Heat at home has been a suicide mission, but they're 8-4, and their last 12 is home favorites. So maybe we're turning over a new leaf. This new look Miami team, maybe this is a team we can trust at home as favorites. Am I actually going to do it? I don't know. It depends. Let's see. Let's see what Boston has to say. Let's see if you can talk me into something. You're not on the Pistons, are you?
I'm not, but I don't think I could talk you into Miami, that strongly. This is more of like I'm just not betting the Pistons. You should have pulled the trigger on that Pistons team total under. That's nuts because I still don't even mind it. But this is not my favorite game, props wise or
it's
ATS
a tough one
at all. Yeah.
Well, and we just saw kind of a similar game and almost a similar team in some aspects as far as the defensive side. We saw Detroit go on the road into Orlando. They got shut down. I think they finished with 90 points. They couldn't do anything. And I should know I had Pistons plus 11 for a full unit that night, or that day, I should say. They couldn't do anything offensively. So if they couldn't do anything against Orlando, who has a solid defense, how are they going to do anything in Miami, who might be the hottest defense in the NBA? So Pistons team total, I find it hard to believe they're going to hit triple digits in this game. So I think that probably still be the move for me, even though we lost 4 points of value. Or maybe just lay the points with Miami, even without Tyler Hero. That's what I would do. Prop, Ever?
Nothing for this one.
This is a challenging one. Wow, okay. So 49% of you are taking the points with the Pistons. It looks like Shipley must be in the comments starting a riot, telling everyone to take Detroit. Yeah, Estot, I wonder if Shipley has you muted in the Discord, bro. We got the Heat fan versus the Pistons fan. Shipley's probably got Estot muted for the time being. All right, next up, Spurs at Rockets. Now here's one. I think the move is San Antonio, but I want to hear. Let's let Boston go first on this one.
I don't necessarily love San Antonio in this spot. I think the Rockets have obviously been a better team at home this year. Now, I wouldn't really say that they're playing their prime basketball, but this could be a personal thing. I've had the worst luck betting San Antonio. I just hit my first bet. Who'd they play? They played, I want to say, I think it was the Pacers, maybe? No, Minnesota. Yeah. Minnesota, they covered too. That was 2 games ago or something. That was the first bet I hit all year, and I had bet the Spurs a few times with like the Wemby craze and whatnot. So I got a little bit personal bias here. I'll let Prop Beaver kill Popovich if we need to, but I just can't. 7.5 points, even though Houston's struggling, and I do think that there's some matchups that like, you know, San Antonio can win. I just can't. 7.5 is not enough. This would have to be 10.5 for me to pull the trigger on San Antonio. So I like Houston.
Prop Beaver, is there any credence to my Spurs lean here? I haven't bet this, but I want to bet the Spurs.
I wasn't really focused on that. I was focused on the San Antonio Spurs supplanting the Magic as the worst offense in terms of turnovers lately. Ooh. So I'm going with another steal prop. Yes, I'm building a hell of a card today. 2 steal props, wildly entertaining, folks. Make sure to watch out for these games. I got Fred VanVleet over 1.5 steals. Got it at plus 180. These both came at 2 in the morning, so really just rock bottom as a capper, putting steal props up at 3 in the morning. He's gone under 4 straight, so I think it's a perfect matchup for him to break through. Spurs have allowed 18 different guards to hit 2+ steals their last 10 games. Wow, that is worse than the Magic right there. And they're allowing the most steals per game to point guards the last 30. He's cashed the last 5-7 against San Antonio. Last 3 at home against San Antonio. When the games are competitive, like you guys were leaning to here, he's cashed his last 9 of 14 with 32+ minutes at home. I've just, weirdly enough, I've had a lot of unsuccess with pretty much every other prop. Steals have been great to me, and big plus money steals have been awesome to me. So I'm going with the big steal here.
I would hate on you for these steal props, but you were killing those tackle props in the NFL season.
I did.
And I was making fun of you for it, and you kept hitting them.
I love tackle props, too.
He's a freak about it, Prop Beaver.
I love the tackle prop. Next year, man, I'm excited for next football season because I was only doing that halfway through the year. Give me a full season of tackle props. The books are done.
You might change your name to tackle prop Beaver.
The books could have their fucking fun now with this little NBA sport we call, but once it gets baseball and football, God bless America. God bless
the tackle prop. So I'm putting Spurs with 7.5 up, and obviously Wembanyama is questionable. If he doesn't play, I don't want any part of it. And if you're betting the Rockets, there are a couple glaring weaknesses for you. I mean, Spurs have been weak against the above the break 3. Rockets take a lot of those. Haven't been very efficient shooting them, but they do take a lot. So against a bad defense on paper, they should be able to cash from out there. And here's the other thing. The Spurs have actually been weak defending the basket, protecting the rim. I know Wemby's like breaking shot block records, but the team as a whole hasn't protected the basket well, which on paper should be a nightmare against the Rockets, who also attack the rim a lot. But here's the thing. The Rockets just 7-10 against the spread against bottom 10 rim defenses. So in these matchups where you're like, oh, finally the Rockets see a bad interior defense, they've actually below the 500 against the number against them. And look, the Rockets are obviously much better at home. This is more, if you take the last 10 games in a vacuum, these two teams are about dead even efficiency-wise. So I'm getting 7.5 points with one of them. I know that there are other factors. There are some positive angles for the Rockets. They do play better at home. I know all that, but I still feel like this number's too big in a matchup where I think if these two teams right now, healthy, played a 7-game series, I think it goes to 7. So I'll take the 7.5 points. I didn't bet this one yet, but I'm kind of like talking myself into it. I might add the Spurs on as a late bet here. So Spurs for me. All right. Next up, Pacers, Mavs. I already bet this one. And luckily, I haven't gotten screwed on an injury yet, but you know what? Maybe Luka will be ruled out. I like Dallas here, and I know the whole world's probably going to be on Dallas. Don't care. I like them to get their revenge against a Pacers team that just beat them. I also like the matchup for Dallas on paper. Indiana's defensive numbers against jump shots, the long mid-range, the above the break three, the corner three, was like, I read it off in the YouTube video. It was like 25th, 27th, 28th or something. Like one of the worst defenses in the NBA against jump shots, which is beautiful. A beautiful matchup for Dallas. Dallas does struggle to defend the fast break, which is tough against the Pacers. But you know what? The Pacers also struggle to defend the fast break, and Dallas also runs the fast break. And back at home, I like the revenge spot, especially after what we just saw from the Pacers and the Pelicans home and home. They like beat the shit out of the Pelicans in New Orleans, then went on the road to New Orleans and got embarrassed. So they just beat up on the Mavs in Indiana. That was like, I want to say, like a week and a half ago, maybe. Now the Mavs get their revenge. It kind of feels similar to that. And I was kicking myself for not betting the Pelicans in the second leg. I put them in a parlay, that's it, but I didn't lay the 5.5 or whatever it was, and I wish I had. So it kind of feels like a second shot at that. I think Dallas is the side, and this kind of reminds me of the Bucks bet last night, where I took it knowing Giannis may not play, and my reasoning was if Giannis plays, I'm holding the most valuable ticket on the board. If he doesn't play, I still think my bet's live. So that's how I feel here. If Luka plays, I'm holding what I feel is a very valuable ticket. I actually got this at 4, too. So I was on it early. So I'm holding Dallas -4. If Luka plays, I think I'm holding a lot of value in my ticket. If he doesn't play, I still think my bet's live. I still think Kyrie and those guys can go out there and beat Indiana. So I'm comfortable in my position here on Dallas. What do you guys think?
We both took Luka, but I took him.
Boston's got a Luka prop?
Yes, he does. I went with the under, though. Not on his points. I like him to score tonight. I went with his under on assists. I got it at 10.5 last night. Now it's moved down to 9.5 at plus money. I still like it there. It's not fun fading Luka. It's less fun fading him against a horrendous defense. But for some reason, unbeknownst to me, these Pacers are excellent at keeping point guards under their assist totals, and that is shown in Luka's recent games against them. Last 30 days, Indy's allowing the second fewest assists per game to point guards. Last 2 weeks, they've allowed the fewest assists per game to point guards. Just the last 5 games, we saw Trey Jones with 4, McCollum with 1 and 3, Quickly with 2, and Doncic with 6, all fly under their totals. In Doncic's last 3 games against Indy, all alongside Kyrie, he's only averaging 6 assists on 11.3 potential assists. He's yet to hit 7+ assists in any of those contests. And then if we look at Luka's career against Indy, he's gone under his last 7-9 matchups against them, and 4 or 5 since his former coach, Rick Carlisle, took over in Indy, so he knows how to play him defensively. If we look at the splits, the spot's been very profitable for under bettors. With Kyrie at home and 1-day rest, he's 9-1 to the under this season, averaging 8.3 and 13-2 since last year. Gross unders, usually the best play, so I'm just going to trust the data here.
Luka Doncic under 9.5. I just noticed that Boston shirt says parlays all day. I didn't even notice that till just now. Nice.
I like that Luka pick there because I'm kind of in the same mindset as to how I think Luka plays this game. I think he scores. I think he's going to have a good offensive game, not necessarily passing. Like you said, like he hasn't really even come close to this number against Indiana when it comes to that. But I like his over in threes. It's a plus money play. 3.5. I mean, the volume will be there, and I would take his points if it wasn't like 34. Like the fact that it's 34.5, the guy needs to have a 35-point night just to have a okay night is just too high for me. So the way to beat around the bush and get there and a plus money play is looking at his 3-pointers made. I just like the volume. That's really all I could say about it. I also like the Mavs. I'm with you, Sauce. I already locked in Mavs -4 as well. I'm hoping Luka plays. I was kind of on the opposite. I liked the Bucks yesterday, waiting for Giannis to play or not. He gets ruled out. I don't touch it. This one I've already locked in, hoping Luka plays, because I do think that this is a Pacers team that can play this team pretty tough if Luka doesn't go out there and drop 30 points for you. But, you know, either way, I already placed it, so I kind of had that question in my mind at one point. You know, if he plays, so what? Or it's great. If he doesn't, so what? So I like Luka over 3.5 threes for plus money, as well as the Mavs in this one.
Luka over threes. Now, this game is a perfect example of why it's important in specifically basketball and baseball to track updated numbers. And what I mean by that is if we were having this conversation 5-6 weeks ago, the Pacers were playing great defense on the perimeter, struggling on the inside, and Dallas defensively was struggling to protect the basket. Now, Dallas in the last 10 games is playing some of the best defense at the rim in the NBA against one of the strongest schedules. Dallas has locked down the basket, and all of a sudden Indiana can't guard jump shooters. So baseball and basketball, that's why you see my videos. I'm slamming last 10 game stats, last 5 games, because it's so important. These teams change. The coaches make adjustments. Teams that were really good at something a month ago aren't that good at it anymore. And the big glaring one right here is this Pacers team who was playing great defense against the outside shot 5 weeks ago, all of a sudden is one of the coldest in the NBA defending the three. So I like that look. 71%, 22% in favor of Dallas. Someone just said bet the opposite. Hold on. Someone said bet the opposite of Prop Beaver. Corey Johnson, I got to send you this shirt, bro.
Yeah, we got free shirts.
No, they're not free.
No, they're free. All profits go to Prop Beaver.
Next up. Phoenix at Denver. We're on to the last game. 9.5. And you know what sucks? I was actually talking to Prop Beaver last night before he left. If Booker and Nurkic were playing in this game, this line would probably be like 5. I would be all over the Suns, and I'd take them on the money line. Like a revenge against a team that knocked them out of the playoffs. I'd be all over it. I'd love it. But without Booker and without Nurkic, I really like the rivalry between Nurkic and Jokic. Because Nurkic, he always plays them tough. But do you have any reason to get to the Suns here, Boston?
No, and then honestly, just because I've put them in a timeout, they just have not been trustworthy. I was taking the Suns a bunch, and they've already emptied my pockets. So I don't really love the spot for them here. It seems like it's a lot of points, which is also worrisome because it's why are you giving a team that has Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal 9.5 points against a Denver team? I think that obviously kind of says a lot. I believe this line's going up too, right? It's from where it opened up. So it's reading that line, it's Denver all day for me in terms of at least a lean. I can't get to the Sun side of things, but I've always loved the Nurkic and Jokic kind of duel because at one point Denver had to pick who to keep, and they made the right decision. Yeah, but it wasn't as easy way back then.
Yeah, and I like those too. When you know who else plays Jokic tough? Usually Valanciunas shows up for those games, and just being aware of that sometimes. It's kind of like those rivalry games where it's when you see a mismatch, but it's they're a rival, so the playing field's even. You know, their confidence level, they feel they can go out there and outplay Jokic, and then the confidence sometimes allows them to do so. But yeah, I agree with them. And what he just said, his first sentence when he started, ditto. I keep track of who I bet, and so I can look how am I doing when I fade this team? How am I doing when I bet this team? And I've lost more units on the Suns this year than any other team. It's my least profitable NBA team this year. I said last year that I thought the Suns were going to the NBA championship out of the West this season. Maybe that's still true, but my take on that has cost me some dollars this season. So the only way I would go is Denver. I don't love it, though. I mean, I don't like it at all, actually. But the only way I'd go is Denver, minus 8.5, minus 9, minus 9.5, wherever it's at. Denver a pass for me. Prop Beaver?
Yeah. I don't know about this one. I really wanted to get the Jamal Murray here, but I've seen 2 accounts with 100,000+ followers tweet out his overs today, and the line has moved down. So I think I'm good off.
And the line has moved down, you said, so reverse.
And the line has moved down. Yeah, so the books are standing on business on that. And if that's not going to happen today, I just don't know how I'm reading this game because I feel like it's smash spot for Murray. So I'm just passing.
Wow, Prop Beaver, your boy has turned on you. The homie with the big feet.
Dude, tell the
That's the Prop Beaver's biggest fan.
Put on some fucking shoes and fuck off, all right, buddy?
All right. How about, oh, by the way, our poll on that one, 61%, 22% in favor of Denver. So, as expected, community's leaning towards the Nuggets there. How about a community parlay? Let's do it.
I'll make a fade 5 real quick.
Oh, yeah, and do an underdog. Let's get the first poll going. So, we got Magic, money line.
We cashed this bad boy last time I was here. I know you've cashed a couple since, but
we had a little hot streak with the community. I think we've cooled off again, so the community could really use your good vibes. Getting
spark plug. That's what they call me, the spark plug.
They call me the spark plug, he says.
I hope that one dies out quick.
Yeah.
I really don't want that following me around.
The spark plug. All right, so while they're voting, boss, do you want to tell them where they can find your stuff? That's his Twitter name right below his face.
Yeah, Twitter name @EvGuyBoston. You could just search Guy Boston Sports on YouTube. I also have a store, fademe.store, if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, I mean, you'll find me with that Twitter. You'll be able to find everything. So @GuyBoston on Twitter.
Hold on, it's Ev Guy? I thought it was
Boston.
EV.
No, my name's Evan.
Oh, dude, I thought
I was
because
gonna say you don't seem like an EV better.
yeah, he doesn't seem like that, but I always assumed because I thought his name was EV, so that's why the V is lowercase in your Twitter. I thought it must have been a typo.
I never thought of it like that, but I think that's just second nature for me.
Wow, so it's Ev Guy Boston. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. You're learning something.
Yeah. I thought it was EV Guy Boston this whole time. I saw you put up a video recently on the EV, but as a whole, I usually doesn't get into that.
Yeah, I like a mixing of both. I like to feel like I'm doing some of the heavy lifting, but I also
it's good information. I think a lot of that, what people don't understand, is how much work it goes into that, and how you need a serious bankroll to do it too.
Yep.
That's the part that
100%.
gets swept under the rug a little bit, but it's good information. Celtics money line is the first leg. So it looks like the community is not scared of the Porzingis, Jaylen Brown lingering injuries. They're down to play the Celtics either way, and I can't say I blame them. Second place was Orlando Magic, so if you voted Magic, you will get another chance on that. We got Knicks money line. Pistons plus 11.5 did win the poll, so Shipley, you'll have your chance. Rockets money line. Mavericks money line. All right, cast your votes. Oh, also, if you want to, I know you don't do many live streams, but if you ever wanted one of us to hop on there, just let me know, because I know you come on and you help me out. I'm more than happy to return the favor and hop on your channel if you need me to.
I'd love to do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it now that obviously I have more free time and time spared up. Live streams definitely something that I want to do more and more of. So I only do it once a week right now. Even still, I'd love to have you or you guys on. But yeah, let's definitely get something like that going.
Yeah, shoot me a message and let me know when, and I'll make it work. And
Sweet.
yeah, it's a two-way street, man. I'm down to return the favor.
Let's go.
Dallas is going to be the second leg, and it looks like Knicks got second place. So Celtics and Mavericks overwhelmingly voted for. And we got Magic, Pelicans, Knicks, Pistons plus 11.5. Those are the four options. Magic, Pelicans, Knicks, Pistons plus 11.5. All right, first and second place are going to complete the community parlay. Boston hit it his first time on here. Is he going to move to 2-0? What didn't? I'm pretty sure when the first time he was on, it was like an insanely chalky one too.
It was it was so bad. Yeah.
We had a plus 2,800 one the other day. It didn't hit, but we had the community's gotten bold in the last couple weeks.
Damn.
Doesn't look like that's the case today though. We're looking chalky as hell. Proppy, do you have a sportsbook open?
Yeah, it's open. I sent you the underdog.
Cool. All right, it's Pelicans and Magic. That's chalky.
Oh, this is bold today, guys. Plus 199.
This is some serious. You know what? Last time we did this exact thing, and we all laughed, and it hit. So maybe joke's on us. Celtics money line, Mavericks money line, Pelicans money line, Magic money line. Before we close, let's bring up Prop E versus Underdog. Let's see what kind of filth he sent in.
Yep.
You went with a 5 pick? Why don't you get a little less?
I went with a 3 pick.
I was going to say, you're getting so aggressive with these.
Nah, I dug deep into the trough, and I pulled out these 3 picks for you guys.
All right, you want to give him the rundown real quick?
It's all what I said earlier. We get some boosted odds here because the steals are plus money. So we got a 1.25 boost. We got a little 1.1 boost. Never made an underdog with those in it, so that's a bit exciting. Yeah, we got this. We're relying on steals and a Luka under today.
steals and a Luka under. All right. If you don't have an underdog fantasy account, it's available in any state highlighted in this map. So if you're in one of the states highlighted in yellow, head over to Underdog Fantasy, the website, or download the app. Make sure you use the promo code BET. That'll get you a $100 deposit bonus match. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Ev, thanks for joining. Let me know if you need
Appreciate
me to
you.
hop on a live stream on your channel. Happy to do it, man. Just let me know.
For sure. Thanks.
Everyone, remember to bet responsibly tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow.